The Logan Act was the basis for the potential criminal culpability of Michael Flynn when he was ousted as National Security Advisor. It was passed in the late 18th century, and it prohibits a private American citizen from engaging in international diplomacy. Rarely enforced, but brought back to light and life by the Democrats and by Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller. And almost as if he was notified by that, John Kerry has walked right in to a major Logan Act violation. And this was not like Flynn's, where he was simply trying to advance the agenda of the incoming president, who would take office 20 days later, who had signaled the policy that Flynn was implementing. This was John Kerry, the former Secretary of State, doing diametrically the opposite of what the current administration wanted, and seeking to overturn and block the president in the implementation of his foreign policy. Precisely the fact pattern envisaged in the Logan Act when it was first passed in 1798. Kerry met twice with Iranians to try to handle keeping them in the nuclear deal and trying to help them avoid sanctions from the United States. And he met with the leaders of France, Britain, and Germany, the three Western ally co-signatories on the Iran deal, again with the purpose of trying to move the treaty forward and stop Trump from violating it or ripping it up. Not violating, but ripping it up. This is a complete interference with American foreign policy and is wrong, illegal, and should be investigated by the Justice Department. Kerry is literally going around behind Trump's back trying to undo what Trump is doing. And the issue that's involved here is this horrible deal with Iran over nuclear weapons that basically gave Iran all it needed to go ahead and develop nuclear weapons. It provides, for example, that the two military sites at which Iran might be developing weapons are to be inspected to be sure they're not, but the Iranians will choose the inspectors and will report the results to the International Agency for Atomic Energy. Iran will be in charge of inspecting itself. And as Israel revealed when it released the files Mossad had seized, the Iranians have continued their process of researching and developing nuclear weapons unabated by the treaty. We hope, or I hope, that on May 12th, which is the deadline, Trump tears up this agreement, gets out of it, and slaps sanctions back on Iran. If the Western allies object and say they won't go along with the sanctions, they're powerless, because the sanctions include secondary sanctions, which mean that any firm in Britain or France or Germany or anywhere who do business with Iran are subject to the sanctions by the American government and can't have access to the international banking system and can't do any business in the United States. And under this threat, they're all going to withdraw. So this is really an area where unilateral U.S. power can be effective. And I hope we go ahead with it, despite Secretary Kerry's attempt literally from the grave to change our foreign policy. Thanks for watching.